right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Confessions of Business Analyst with Teso Adorowa. Today's episode has me feeling like I need a helmet or a shield, to protect myself. BAs and PMs, everybody know. I don't know, collaboration, conflict, we're going to find out today. So with me here today, I have two very amazing personalities. Joy is an experienced business analyst, experienced senior business analyst. Nena as well is an experienced senior project manager, and both persons are persons I respect so much, and they are here today to discuss on a very interesting topic. A lot of persons have asked me, business analysts versus project managers, is it a collaboration or is it conflict? Do our roles intertwine so much, or there is a clear difference between what PMs do and what BAs do? Right. So today we are going to put an end to that argument. And I have with me Nena and Joy. So first of all, we're going to meet the PM. They say because I'm a BA, maybe I'll be favoring BAs, but I would meet the PM first, right? So Nena, let's
Mhm.
get to meet you, please.
Okay, I'll just make the introduction very brief. Good day, everyone. I'm really privileged to be here. Thank you so much, for creating this platform just to clear the air on the vagueness and maybe differentiating the roles and all that. So, Nena Kalu, as Tesu introduced me earlier, a senior project manager working for a financial institution. I've done that for a couple of years, and I must say I enjoy doing that. It's something I take pride in, and I will just leave it at that. We can hit the ball rolling.
Okay, thank you very much, Nena. So I don't want to say what it feels like working with Nena as a BA though, but I think maybe we'll get to talk about that later. All right. So next guest is our business analyst, senior business analyst, Joy. Can we get to meet you?
Hi, all. So my name is Joy Gerald, a senior business analyst. Of course, with despite the fact I'm a senior BA, with project experience, project management experience as well. Currently, I work for a consulting firm, and also, taking BAs through web software development. I love doing web applications a lot and integrations as well. So I love doing projects, volunteering. I'm currently volunteering on two projects. Of course, giving my knowledge for free, but it's just something I discover I love doing. I love doing IT. And so being a senior BA has given me the opportunity to also work as a project manager, handling a project on my own. But it's not an easy one, I could say. It was a roller coaster when I started as a BA and at the same time managing a custom web application and moving the legacy system, onto the a very modern web application. So, of course, it's nice to meet you all, and let's connect on LinkedIn.
I'm seeing Wala already.
Does it?
Uh, but it's fine. Thank you very much, Joy, and Nena, for sharing your experiences with us. So we'll go very quickly into the questions. First question is, what is the most common misconception now to the PM? Nena, what is the most common misconceptions that you think people have or that you've heard about, working with BAs, right? So you've worked with a lot of BAs, myself included. What is the most common misconceptions that people have, right? Like actual versus real, that you've heard or that you've experienced before, or maybe you even had at one point in time.
Okay, so thank you for that question, right? In my previous organization, I was privileged to wear two caps, the BA cap and the PM cap. So I think I feel what the BAs also feel. So I'm really not have real clashes with them, because I mean, when you have done those things, actually, actual versus real, you can actually differentiate and understand what is the end goal But maybe basically the broader picture, they see PMs as, oh, these guys are just about timelines, schedulers. They want to schedule meetings. They want to meet their timeline. They are not so interested in us gathering. Then the BAs are just note takers. We just want to get requirement, but it's deeper than what we see. I mean, the BAs are people I respect a lot, because I know when I was a BA and PM, I almost fainted, because you're running from pillar to post, trying to get requirement, trying to make sure. And the BAs are very critical because they define the vision statement. They make the mission statement very clear and relatable. And in the real sense, right, the business people don't even know how to document what they want. They just know that I want a system that is working. How to go there, what and why, they don't know. So it is this BA that's the foundation builder. I mean, you can imagine a house, you're building a house and the foundation is wrong. That house is going to wobble, it's going to crash one day. So the BAs are people I actually respect. Although, yes, I come with my own pressure, but I mean, I try to balance things out and make sure that, I mean, we are a team. We need to hold hands together. What is the most important thing is a successful outcome, not an output. So I need you, you need me. Let's just collaborate and make it happen. So I think for me, the misunderstanding, that's one or two things, but it's never been so much. Yeah, for me. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, trying to be
Yeah, I
diplomatic.
hope. No, because that's why I told you, like, it's not a fight, because I have been there and I understand the energy being
Mm.
put into getting the right requirements. So it's all love.
It's all right. So thank you very much. Joy, over to you. So common misconceptions that you've had about PMs and BAs and their work.
Thank you so much, Tess. So first I want to commend Nena for starting beautifully. And she spoke from experience, right? The BAs, we handle the what? What exactly are we building? We ask the questions, why? Why are we building? But from experience as well, you see people who don't actually, understand that they are there to actually dig deep and dig deep into the project. So for misconceptions, I'm not actually sure, looking at it from the BAs do the what, the why, these project managers do the when and the who. But you see the who, that is where there's a clash, not like a clash. Yeah, if you manage it properly, it shouldn't even be a clash, because the stakeholder is interested in that who the BA is interested in. So that's the only place I see where there's likely going to be a clash. The who, your stakeholders. The project manager is interested in the business process owner. The BA is interested in the business process owner. But when it's managed very well, for me, collaboration is key. It doesn't matter, is he a BA, a project manager, whoever you're working in on a project. The moment you start doing this is my role, if it falls within your jurisdiction, try and deliver on it. Whether it's a project manager role, it is your role, a communication plan needs to be created as a BA, create it. It helps you manage your stakeholders.
I think what you're saying kind of leads me to my next question. Before I forget, let me just ask it. Now you mentioned something that is fundamentally very right. We need to do something, a task needs to be completed, just like you mentioned about the communication plan. It has to be done, right? And let's say primarily that's the job of the PM to do, but as a BA you find yourself doing that, right? Are you has there been instances where you actually had to do this, like to step in to do the job of someone else? Was it by accident or was it by choice? I know what your answer is going to be already, but are there cases where it was by accident or by choice? And then what's the rationale behind it?
Definitely, there are going to be cases of by accident. Like I said, our role somehow, we will find ourselves doing same things on the road, but not all of it. A project manager would not do requirements. A BA does requirements. A project manager would not go asking the questions. That's all. But you see that part of the stakeholders. You might do a communication plan. If my project manager has done a communication plan, I am expected to do a communication plan as a BA. A project management is expected to do a communication plan as a BA. Manage your stakeholders from your end. Let me manage my stakeholder from my own end. We are all on the same project. But I don't see it shouldn't even be a situation of I'm doing a communication plan or doing RACI and it's a project manager's job. But I know as a BA, I should create a communication plan. I should have my own RACI. We are doing two different things altogether. I am managing stakeholders. You also should manage stakeholders. So communication plan, often at time, I present my communication plan to the stakeholder. The way a project manager could be a senior executive and he relates with the stakeholders differently. You, sitting as a BA, you're a junior to them. I'm just saying the sense. And the way they want you to communicate with them is totally different from how they want a project manager to communicate with them. So all of this is just about understanding. Understand who you're working with. That's why stakeholder management is super. That skill is something you need to have. Know them, personalities. They are difficult. Some of them don't want to see you. So learn it, plan, do your communication plan, do it for yourself, and let the project manager do theirs for themselves.
Okay, thank you very much for that. I think, I had something. So with answering this question, I want Nena to start with that, right? So Nena, she mentioned that, a business analyst should have their communication plan, a PM should have their communication plan, right? Because they manage stakeholders differently, sort of the kind of information that stakeholders would want from, each one of these persons is kind of different. So in answering our questions about stepping into each other's roles, do you think that this should be the practice? Would it cause more conflict or would it enhance collaboration?
I think if it's managed properly, like Joy has mentioned, it will enhance collaboration. I mean, stakeholders, my boss will always say that there's really no clear-cut definition or any book where you see, oh, this is how to manage stakeholders perfectly. And the reasons are that today you have same stakeholders, tomorrow you have a very complex stakeholder. So it's now your negotiation skills, your persuasion skills, your soft skills that will help you scale or even get into a more difficult situation. So, and what am I saying in essence? That, I mean, you have a communication plan, I have a plan. Provided everything, what are we looking at commonly? Is that common goal? The end goal is the success of the project. So my job is even so big enough that I have no business stepping into your own job unless if I see, because I am seeing the overview of the project, unless if there's a red flag already there telling me, oh, there's going to be problems if you don't assist. And if for any means you want to even add, you must do it respectfully, because people, we are all professionals. You can't come and tell somebody, oh, this is the right way to do it, because I mean, even your way is not even the 100%. We're all airing our views and we'll take the most common that fits, the project. Everything is all for the success of the project. So whatever we are doing, like if we're going on with a project and midway, we see some BAs that they take notes or scope, and maybe we are going halfway and the business owners, they call and they say, oh, please, there's one regulatory stuff we have to add. The BA will take the scope, but it's based on your own knowledge as a PM to say, oh, we understand that this is very important, but we need to rebase timelines. We need to revisit the scope. Is it going to be a change request? How are we going to get stakeholders? We've gotten people to sign off on this. How are we going to get people? So I'm seeing something from a different point of view, and the BA, so I need to support the BA to make sure that he does not go off track. So it's more of, I support you, support me. And I love the BA role such that because the business is a going concern, maybe I have a little headache, I need to visit the hospital, the BA steps in, and vice versa. So it's not because the project manager is not around, and that's what we practice in our institution, the manager is not around, the meetings cannot be held. I mean, the project manager is somebody, the business is a going concern. So I see it more of, unless if it's people that don't understand their clear-cut definitions of what they need to do that clash, it's more of a very fantastic collaboration.
Oh well, thank you very much, Nena. I think maybe you guys are too senior for these questions. Eh? There's too much peace
Yeah,
here.
No,
I
see,
said it earlier. Yeah.
so do you know what's happening? We're actually speaking from experience. We've seen these things play out.
Exactly.
We have sat
Mm-hmm.
in these roles and we realize that the moment you want to do project manager is not around, BA, let me wait. Ha,
You get
management will
It
come for
becomes
you.
chaotic.
It
Exactly.
becomes so chaotic. Before you know, it starts going out of alignment. Because we've
Mm-hmm.
sat in these two roles, we have handled both the part of the project manager and the
yeah.
part of a business analyst. Collaboration is key. Never ever you think that because you have a project you want to hide, you want to it's my project manager. What if you do it and go to your project manager and say, oh, I understand that this, see what I've done. Is it okay by you if I push it to the stakeholders? If you feel it's the project manager's role, or a project manager, oh, okay, I've helped you. You have a blocker here. I've spoken to that stakeholder for you. Do you mind
Exactly.
following up?
Exactly.
Collaboration
Oh
is
yeah.
what I know that works when it comes to doing an IT project. Because the
True.
moment you try to derail or you try to act in your own way, oh no, the effect is not always funny because I've seen it play
Now,
out.
next question. Who takes the blame? Now that we are here, we are so loving, So now something goes wrong on the project. Who takes the blame? Who should take the blame more? The PM and or the BA? And is that a fair way? Whoever takes the blame, is it fair for them to take the blame? So who takes the blame more, the PA or the PM? The PM.
Mhm.
I mean, let's start with Nena. Who
Okay.
should take more of the blame when something goes wrong on the project?
Okay. No hard feelings. I think it's the PM. You know why? Because it's just like holding a community accountable for a child that goes wrong in home training.
I
Y-
don't
y-
like this your political answer. I
You
don't
you're not
like this.
talking. No, I'm just being factual here. You're not talking to anybody. You
And
just say,
so
"Oh, your
she's
community is
being, I told
responsible."
you from her
You can't hold
response,
anybody.
she has experience and she's being so
Yeah,
real.
you can't
Mm-hmm.
hold
Believe
anybody.
you
I
me.
see that.
Do you understand? So that's the way. When, as a project manager, right, I see my project as my baby, and I don't leave it until that baby matures. Is even up to 18 years, and it's okay. This child is an adult. The child can fend for themselves and all that. That's the way I see project, because the moment you leave it, you feel that people are adults. They can do what they need to do. But if you don't nudge them, they just take it as business as usual. So it's our responsibility to make sure that this thing has a timeline. There's a cap. This thing is within a scope, and this thing is we've maxed out on the budget. So if you don't call the shots where you need to call it, it's just open ended. And at the end of the day, yes, ideally, right, in the real sense, the project team, because we're a team, but in the actual, no, in the actual term, right, is a project. But in the real term, it is the project manager. And that's why, because they're going to hold you accountable, it is now your responsibility to make sure that you exhaust all the lines of escalation. Because there are some stakeholders that if you don't escalate them, they won't do anything. There are some that use initiative. Some people they need to be micromanaged too. You need to just do carrot and stick approach. You treat them nicely. Oh, guys, I know, I trust you. You do the motivation, you do everything. It's not working. You just have to, because we are here for a short while and we need to make it count. So I think, yes, it's with no hard feelings. Project managers don't like it, but man, when it's good, you say, yes, that's my work. But when it's bad, why
Mm-hmm.
are you feeling bad to say it's my work? So whether the child is good or bad,
Yeah,
it's my headache.
absolutely. Okay, Joy, your opinion. Do you think it should be the BA or the PM?
No, sincerely, like you said, we didn't come to banter. We are speaking from experience, right? And
Okay.
Nena has been truthful enough to tell you is a project manager. Now, let me give you a practical example. The project manager goes to executive management meetings, the BA does not.
Exactly.
And then the
Hmm.
executives sit down and, okay, give us a project presentation. And then you're there telling them that BA did not do this one. BA, no,
Ah.
now. Hey,
You know that
no.
it's roasting. So
It's even unprofessional. So, like she said, you own these timelines. You're the one to nudge these people, let them know, oh, this is we're working within these times. We have only 2 weeks left. If you keep calm, everybody is going to relax and have a party on top of your head.
that's it.
Believe
The
you
real
me,
party.
top of your head. And you will still go back and face the management alone. So
True.
it
Hmm.
is always the BA. Sorry, it is always the project manager. But I tell my BAs, right, when you're doing your requirements gathering, don't think that you're going to skip. Don't think that anybody they'll come and hold the next person responsible for your whatever errors you have. If the system fails, you fail.
Yeah.
Forget about the project
Yeah.
manager can work his way around. After all, he will tell you were the one that gathered the requirements. So I always ensure, yes, let's talk the project from the but you see, okay, let's say the project. If the system fails, is the BA or the BA responsible? The
Hmm.
project fails, hold the project manager responsible. If the system fails, hold the BA responsible.
This one is deep.
There's not critical thinking is key. I always tell people on LinkedIn, don't be a system focused BA.
Yeah.
Be also a business value focused BA. Have business
Very true.
acumen. I was
Very true.
teaching them today and I told them, don't somebody tells you to put in a requirement that has no value and you spend all of your time breaking
Hmm.
it down into user stories. At the end of the day, you develop rubbish. Be able
And
to weigh. Ask them
that BA
this
doesn't.
requirement, what would it do for you? Right?
Yeah.
What
I
is
mean,
it going to do for them? What is the business going to gain? What value are they going to gain from this requirement you want me to put? And that's one shortcoming so many BAs have, that ability to challenge these requirements and challenge the stakeholders to be able to do the right things. Right. We're not saying go and be interrogator or be there's a way to follow. In the course of having your lunch, calmly, I notice you asked me to put in these requirements. At the end of the day, what is it going to look like? How is it going to help? Let's
you
say
know,
they ask you to. Mhm,
some stakeholders actually add requirements just to massage their ego. They just want to say, "Oh, I'm
mhm.
responsible for that
I
feature."
have like I contributed
That's
to
just
it.
the only thing, exactly.
Exactly. I
You know,
contributed to the project. I know. I've been
mm.
there.
And sometimes massaging their ego, you may need to lie to them. That don't worry, let's release this one. In the next release, your feature is going to be there, and there might not be a next release.
Mhm.
Then is
But
familiar with something like
that's
that.
another problem. They'll tell you you did rubbish.
But as
Yeah,
long as for me, it's always about as long as the users just ensure that what you're giving to the business has value. They are going to you don't develop a feature that the people you're working for are not going to use. Maybe they'll use it once in 2 years. Let's say they want to export file and send to and you want to prioritize that export future over
mm,
you know something really valuable in the system. So it's all about that's the part where, of course, the senior BA, a product owner comes in where requirements are, prioritized and aligned.
prioritize. Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for your very wonderful thoughts. And I mean, I'm hearing some things here that I didn't think I would hear. Things like if the project fails, hold the project manager responsible. If the system fails, hold the BA. It got me thinking, wow, okay. So once the child is 18, the project manager can walk away, but the BA stays there for life. I see. We'll take it. All right. So let's go into our game. We're going to play a game. right? It's something simple. You guys are going to be able to ace it. But the way you guys have been very political with your answers, um, these questions have clear answers. If you don't get it, you don't get it. So
Just don't put us
you're
on
going
the
to
spot.
not so much, not so much. You're going to manage. All right. So the game is called Who Said It? BA or PM. Right. So I'm going to read out a phrase or sentence, and then you tell me who actually owns that sentence or the phrase. Is it
Okay.
a BA or a PM? Like, so you need to think about it critically because these things may sound alike, right? So
Mhm.
are we ready? Are we good to go?
Sure. Mhm.
Good to go.
All right, so let's start with the first one. The first one says, let's figure out the impact of this change before we move forward. Let's figure out the impact of this change before we move forward. Who said it? The BA or the PM?
Who is going first? Anybody can
Anybody
go
can go.
first, basically.
Yeah.
PM.
So okay, I'll go there. I would say let's figure out the impact. It could be the BA, it could be the project manager. But one thing
No.
I
Just
know,
just tell
I'm
us.
coming. One thing I know
Okay.
business analysts do, right, is analyze when they're writing business cases. When we're writing business cases, we always want to know the impact. We always do a cost
You want
benefit
to explain this
analysis.
thing too
No,
much.
no, no.
BA or
He's a
PM?
BA.
No, of course. I would need to let you, I need to take you deep. Now, that's what BAs do. We take you deep.
But if you explain it too much, it becomes like the two persons' job. Which one, BA or PM? Just tell us.
Okay, BA. For me, BA.
Okay, Nana.
PM.
Okay, the answer is BA.
Woo.
So BA figures out the impact of the change, and it
Yes,
just
at
comes
the
off what Joy just
beginning.
said.
Yes.
Yeah. Say, but I know Nana can say things like that, right?
That's
Working
what I'm saying. They
and
can
but this is BA's job, right? To figure out what the impact of
out
the change is.
exactly.
If it's not, if it doesn't cut it, then we won't include it in the project.
Exactly.
All right, so that's 1-0. Okay,
Mm.
let's go. Number two.
Mhm.
We are not changing the deadline. Let's find a workaround. We are not
The,
changing the deadline. Let's find a workaround. BA
the
or
PM.
PM?
The PM.
Nana, what's your answer?
The PM.
You're sure?
Very
Mhm.
sure.
Is it because of the timeline that is inside there? Okay, that's correct. It's the PM.
One
It's the
one.
PM. One. No, that's 2-1. No, 2-0 actually. No, 2-1. 2-1. Yeah. Okay, number three. We need to re-engage stakeholders who have gone silent. We need to re-engage stakeholders who have gone silent. So along the line in the project, some stakeholders no longer come to stand-ups and all of that. So
BAs. Stakeholder
okay,
engagement is
Joy said
quite important for BAs. It could also be PM,
okay.
but you see, BA, I'm standing on the BA side.
Okay, Nana, where do you stand?
PM. Well, maybe because most times
Oh,
we always so
okay. So it's the PM, right? So remember, it says they have gone silent. You've done your work at the beginning. They were there. They gave you requirements and all, but along the line, they've gone silent. So it's the PM who would say, "Oh, hey, let's call these guys back together before we have an issue in front." BAs can say that though, but it's basically the PM. So this is what 2-2, right?
Mm. But also, I want to say,
Yeah.
you're running a project and then your stakeholder goes silent.
Mm.
You don't wait for the PM. You don't.
Yeah.
Because how are you getting clarification? You don't because you need to keep them abreast of what you've been doing.
Okay,
Why are
so
they silent?
in practice, right, the person that would notice first of all is the
Mm.
PM. The reason why I said so is because you know that they schedule several other engagements, including engagements that the BA would not be around. For example, if there is a um how do they call these meetings again? No, no, this ones we used to hold every Fridays. What do you used to call that meeting with the executives?
Weekly, okay, PSC. That's
Yeah, exactly.
steering
Project
committee
steering
meeting.
committee, exactly. Um, the PM is quick to notice the stakeholders who are falling off from that engagement. It's not really a BA thing to know who and who is there, because you don't need those guys for anything so much during those meetings. But they need to be there to understand what's happening with their project. And when they go code, the PM notice from those engagements, and then
And okay, so another thing from my experience, one experience I've had, the project manager was not on the project steering committee.
Oh
Wow.
wow,
So
for real.
a large
That was an
organization,
aberration.
very large organization. So
Oh wow.
what are you going to do? You're
No, in
waiting.
that case,
Yeah.
no.
You
In that
just
case,
this, you just follow up on these guys as a BA. Remember, I said if a system fails and eliciting this requirement, you need them to be engaged. Just find a way and be talking to these people. That's how that engagement skill is super important. Find a way to get them to be talking. If they mustn't show up on your meetings, but find a way. Meet them during lunch hours. Talk to them. Engagements, stakeholder engagements, not only meetings. Though. It's not meetings, only meetings.
Mhm.
Go and talk to them when they are having their lunch. Slide your chair to their desk if you see them and speak with them. So it's not just about the meetings. So that's why I say the project manager might be sitting there, but you're sitting here. Walk
Right
down
here.
to the stakeholder and talk to them.
It's all right. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Who said it, a BA or a PM? How will this feature support business objectives? I think this one is a walkover. Nana said it.
BA.
Joy?
Of course, BA. I told you we asked the questions. Why?
Yeah,
What?
sure.
All right, it's a BA. Next
Mhm.
one. Why is this one looking okay? Let's document this decision so we don't revisit it later. Let's document this decision so we don't revisit it later. BA or PM?
The PM and the BA, PM. See, that's like these roles are interchanged. The BM is documenting because, of course, we are supposed to document, right? We have good documentation skills. But sitting on a project manager role, if a decision has been made, I want to keep it, right? I want to keep it because it could be affecting the project. So I want to be able to come back to it and have a
No,
discussion
so
with everybody.
somebody is asking somebody to document. So who is more likely to ask someone to document?
Somebody, the project manager will ask the BA to document.
Okay, Nana, what's your opinion?
You say let's document so that we'll revisit it later.
So
Right?
let's document this decision so we don't revisit it later. So we've come to a conclusion. Let's write it down so that we don't have to come back to this issue, something like that.
Okay, it's
So
more of a P.
saying it to a BA.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay, so it's actually PM-ish, but yeah,
It says
it's the
PMish. It's actually PMish. That's how they sound. Let's document it. You know, one thing I always another misconception people when they always think BAs are note takers and then to do note taking. You know, so every documentation they push it to the BA.
It's all right. Let's take the last one.
Okay.
This needs to go through the change control board. Is it the PA, the BA, or the PM?
The PM.
Nana.
PM.
Okay, so no doubts about this.
The PM, because when you're talking about going to the board, it's not the BA's consign. That's why I said the PM. The BA will go and sit in the executive and get wired. The BA is not there. So it's the
all
PM.
right. Okay, I think we'll take one more. That one was too cheap. We'll take one more. We need to communicate this risk to leadership ASAP. We need to communicate this risk to leadership ASAP. Who says
My
that? A BA or a PM?
my dear Nena said it.
Nana, what
That's
did
okay.
you say?
Imagine, that's okay. Imagine my voice.
Exactly. Okay, it's the PM, right?
Mhm.
And then this just goes a long way to show that we actually work collaboratively.
Exactly.
BAs and PMs,
True.
there's more collaboration than conflict. And I like
Yeah.
what you said in the beginning, Joy, about it's only maybe project managers or business analysts who don't really understand what they're up to that would see these opportunities for collaboration as conflict, because we need to work together to make things work and move ahead.
Mhm.
All right, so I think I forgot the scores for the game. Let's erase the scores. Let's leave the scores. All right, so let's move on to the next question. We've been so amazing so far, and let's talk about collaboration now. I see that we've been, hammering on collaboration and making sure that we come up with success stories. You guys have hinted a bit about this question, when we talk about, stepping into each other's roles, and amazingly, both of you have worked in the both roles before. So, what would your dream collaboration between a PM and a BA look like? Right. Let's let's imagine now, or even bring experiences. What would that collaboration? How should that dream collaboration look like? A situation where the BA and the PM work so nicely together that there's hardly even any conflict. Then now.
Okay, my dream collaboration. Would I say dream? It has happened. So we had an internal project, free from vendors. Most times when you have vendors, people coming from outside, there are always clashes because you're there telling them this is what it is, and they're telling you that it's not. It's based on, do you think it's going to work? We are the experts, and you're saying we understand our system, but this was internal, all of us, But I mean, I would say till tomorrow, the BA that we had on that project was so fantastic, and I told myself, if he wasn't on that project, a lot of things would have slipped because he laid a very good foundation. He made sure that the process was automated. You will log on to Jira, everybody knows what everybody's doing. Everything was at the backlog. It was so organized that people did not struggle. And even when someone had to, because I had to go on leave, people had to step out at some point in time, it was seamless. Even when I got back, it was so you just see that the business, he just actually showed that the business is a going concern. So I think I've had those collaborations, and I really want more of them to happen, because I mean, at the end of the day, why are we aching, having headaches when is the common goal that we are pursuing? So yes, mutual respect, zero worries, zero troubles. I respect you. I mean, when I'm overwhelmed, you come in and say, ah, Nena, I know that you're battling to do this. I've done this. Could you just check it out? If it's fit for purpose, adopt. But if not, no problem. So, and I'll go back to say, oh, who are the people that you're having difficulties with? Can I step in and speak to it? This person is my friend. I have a good relationship with the person, so that everything is just, everybody wakes up to say, oh, that project, I really love to work on that project. And even the stakeholders and the business owners, they don't even see anything really, they don't see the project as boring because of the way you and the B have been able to hold your hands to just make sure that this is our beat. You lay the foundation. Why I motivate the people, I play the politics, I tell them well done, I clap for them. When they are down, I say, oh, don't worry, just rest. I just do all the pampering, then you do the foundation building. I mean, it's just, I want more of the dream collaborations, but I think one of them has happened, and
Mm,
I was really happy being on that project.
mm. Thank you very much. Okay, Joy, your dream collaboration between BA and PM.
For me, I would say having two great communicators, right? If the BA communicates fantastically, perfect. If the BA knows how to communicate, one thing, communication, even in our real world relationships, once you're a great communicator, there's hardly when there are issues because you are able to speak out, right? You're able to let your PM know, oh, there are some things that I'm expecting. Okay, look at what's happening with me. My stakeholders hasn't been responding. The PM tells the BA, oh, okay, just show me. Is there something you want me to help you do? Are there stakeholders that you think you need me to chase for you? You know, just doing the job of a scrum master, trying to, remove impediment for your BA. You sitting there, being able to communicate down what the management, more like communication for me is always key. Let me know what's going on. Why I let you know what I'm doing, challenges. That's why these meetings, the Monday project update meetings, the project update meetings are super important. Where everybody's talking, you're not sidelining the BA, because you're sitting as the project manager, right? So for me, it's always about the project manager who looking forward to having a project manager who is open-minded. You're not there to, I'm sitting as the project manager, therefore you're answerable to me. You get
You don't want
so
you don't want a load. You want a partner, like right, like
exactly.
Yeah.
the work partner. Yeah.
Collaborate. That's why we can never stop talking about collaboration on a project. It makes a project super fantastic when you're able to collaborate. What is collaboration? Oh, okay, this is what I'm doing. Do you think I need to help you? Okay, I just created a communication plan. Do you want me to help you do this one? It's collaboration. Today, somebody was saying, oh, okay, I've done my discovery session for this project. Sorry, next week you're doing yours. I'm not going to be there. And what if the other person does their discovery session and two of you go and be documenting different, same requirements, having
Different versions.
duplicated, yes, same requirement
Yeah.
duplicated over, and then we have wasted time. Sit in meetings, even if you think you do not have anything like serious to say, right? Sorry, guys, you don't have much. Sit down there, give the other person your shoulder to lean on. If you think, oh, is the BA's project requirement walkthrough and you're the project manager, sit with the BA in the project, give them support. You know that those big boys are coming to intimidate, ask questions. You sit as the project manager, you tell them, oh, give us some time, give this person some time. This is what they are doing. So it's always about communication, having a great communicator on my project, and then having a good collaborator on the project. I'm looking forward to having the two of them in one person someday.
Oh, someday. Okay, that would happen in fact very soon. Very soon. Okay, so last question, and we'll start with Joy. So if you could give a PM an advice, right? Just of what you just said, a an upcoming PM or an experienced PM, whatever. If you have something to tell a PM, what would that be? That one advice, you know, both for people starting off and experienced project managers.
For people starting off, or for an experienced project manager who is just starting a project, for me, I would say carry your business analyst along, do a fantastic project kickoff session where roles and responsibilities are clearly defined. The moment you get it right with your project kickoff document, where everybody knows what they're supposed to do, where they fall in, who to go to, right? That's always the first start, because we get into organizations where there's not even project scope. They just start a project. Document things, put them in paper, put them down, all right?
Oh,
That's why project kickoff documents are super important. It's not just a presentation slides. It gives clarity. It gives the other people, it gives them, it's like your map, basically. Let's forget about the timelines and the user journey. It's like you're giving them an idea, like leading them. Okay, this is the road we're going to be starting it. All of you come and know, you'll be standing at the goalpost, you'll be standing here. Make it very clear. let everybody understand their role, define it. Basically, that's the word to use. Define these roles and let everybody know what they need to do on the project.
Okay, thank you very much, Joy. Nena, what would be the advice you would give a BA who is either starting off or is experienced? You know.
Okay, for starters, right? If you're someone that you don't pay attention to details, you have no business being a BA because it's very critical. Everything you write down, it must, because you are the mission statement and the final, you need to make sure that everything makes sense and is going to give value. So if you're someone that you're not patient in writing, documenting, you don't have interpersonal skills to talk to people, because there are so many BAs that they want to talk to people. People don't even want to listen to them because they're not good communicators. They are boring. They don't ask the right question. So you can imagine a stakeholder will say, I'm repeating myself over and over again, and you're a genius. Someone tells you that at your first try, you've already been put off balance, and you're like, oh my god, is this how? And it could be boring if you see it as such, but when you own up to it, right, you're confident. Even if you're talking to the head of department, even if you're talking to an MD, you're not being disrespectful, but you are telling him that based on experience, this is what I think that is right. However, these are my recommendations. In fact, that's the word I like to use. Even when I know that I'm standing on my right, that I would recommend, if you oblige me, sir. So I'm giving you an option. This is what I think as a professional. But if you choose otherwise, then it's fine. But you need to be very confident in doing that. Then for experienced people, right? Okay, that's for people that are coming in and also experienced. Whatever anybody is saying, please let their heads or their supervisors sign off. When you get people to put their blood down, that's when someone will say, wait, first. That's when you know that you've been documenting nonsense. Someone will say, oh, please take a chill pill. Give me more time to read. Give me more time to revert. But they wanted to sign. But they said it was good to go. Then when I say, okay, let your line manager or let your unit head sign off, and you tell me, the unit head says, no, I can't just sign off. Give me time. So you see that the unit head or the head of the department was not carried along. You documented that, you run with that. They come midway and say, who gave the, it has happened a couple of times. I mean, even on the project I'm handling, who told you? When was it said? And you as the project manager or the BA, you are confused, like, oh my God, this my foundation is shaky. This house that we have gotten to lintel stage, are you sure we're not going to pull it down? So all of that, you don't want that to happen. So as a BA, you need to be, like Joy said, be a good communicator. When things are going wrong, just nudge your PM, because if you keep quiet, you're putting the PM into trouble. And the PM will act confused because, I mean, my BA didn't complain. For me, I like to ask questions. And even before the BA even says something, I already know something is wrong, because even as when the BA gets across to stakeholders, I'm also doing my engagement to say, what is happening? Just know you're going to sign off, or you need to give the right stuff. You know, I keep on saying that in meetings so that, because especially when the BA is junior, you need to give that BA that comfort, because there are some things that the BA cannot say, that the BA is relying on you to say. But it's until you give me that information before I can even know what to say and at the right time. So, and because you're very critical, it is your analysis that gives management that effrontery to make informed decisions. You need to, at the right time, inform the right people so that, things can happen, and, if there are any issues, it can be fixed. So, I mean, that's just what it is, but we're good. BAPM, we're good to go.
Okay. Thank you very much, Nena. That's a very solid one, right? So I would like to ask this question now. So is it collaboration or conflict? BA and PM. Let's settle it. Collaboration or conflict?
Collab-
Collaboration.
Collaboration.
Thank you very much. You both have been so amazing. I couldn't have asked for any better guest than both of you. I want to say thank you very much for coming. And I know that if I ask again, you guys are going to come back.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Nena. Let me thank my co-guests. Thank you, Nena. You were fantastic and you were realistic, right? It's only people who have experience that speak from facts and who agree on some things. Some people who read from the book will come here and tell us otherwise.
Exactly. Thank you,
Thank
Joy,
you so
also
much.
for supporting. I mean, we have one boot caps and we know how it fits. So
Exactly.
any organization, right, that wants to get it right, all your BAs should have project management experience, and all project
Exactly.
managers should have BA
True.
experience. So that if there's any BA lacking, you can say this person go this way. And even when the person gets to be the head, the person can oversee different people in different spaces. And I mean, it will still work. Everything will work.
Thank you so much.
This message is approved. Thank you very much.
But it's true. I've been telling
Uh,
my BAs they should go get project management skills and product management
mhm.
skills.
I'm going to do my PMP soon.
It's
Right?
very
I want to
important.
solidify it. Yeah, because I'm not set. I think I tell BAs as well. I'm not certain what you're doing as a BA, an experienced BA, without having project management experience or even
Absolutely.
certifications. I mean, you're not of use as a senior business analyst. I mean, forgive me, but that's the truth. You need to have the both experiences.
But some people won't agree. Some people still don't agree, feel they don't have any business with the project management skills.
Don't worry. I think we'd have to come back to discuss
That's
this.
what we see on
I don't know.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. We are.
All right, guys. So it
All
was
right.
nice
So
meeting you.
yeah,
Yeah, same
nice
here.
to have you both as well.